Hello, Flosstube. I'm Ros Clark. This is Ros Clark Craft, and this is my home here on YouTube. This is my home in real life. You can find me as Ros Clark Craft over on Instagram and also in my Etsy shop. And particularly hello and welcome. There's been a flurry of new subscribers. I think mostly thank you to the shout outs from Somi Sarah and Mama Loves UGB, both of whom mentioned my stitch along and my introduction to colour video. If you are going to be joining us in the stitch along, that's really exciting. Really happy to have you. The one thing I'm just going to say about that now, this video is not really about the stitch along. The one comment that I've had a little bit in comments is, I'm not on Instagram, I won't be able to join in. And I just want to say, if you're not on Instagram, you will be able to join in. Firstly, I think you may, even if you don't have an account, still be able to look at my Instagram profile. If you're not sure, it will be linked in the description box to this video. And just try it. Try putting that URL into your browser. And if you can see at the top, there's a picture and a little bit about me. And then there's a link that says Linktree. And that is where the Sew Along charts will be available for you to download. So if you can do that, then you don't need to worry at all. If you find you can't do that, I will still link them in my description box for YouTube. It's just that because obviously I don't always film videos every week and I might be releasing the next section of the chart before I film a video, you may have to wait a week or two before you get the next section of the chart. So do check if you can just access it through Instagram. There are a couple of freebies on there at the moment. There's the Autumn Jack pattern and I can't remember, one or two others. So if you can access those, then you will definitely be able to access the charts via Instagram. But even if not, you will access them here, just not necessarily right on the day that they're released. So I hope that's helpful if you're thinking about that. What else did I have to say? Firstly, just huge apologies. I am filming this really late. I say really late at night. It's not that late. It's just really dark. And yeah, the lighting is rubbish. I don't know how to make it better. I do have a ring light, but then you just have the really weird rings in my glasses, and that looks weird. This also looks weird. Yeah, anyway, I don't know what I can do about that. The good news is, I say good news, there's no stitching to show you, so you won't have that looking weird because there's none to show you. That is not because I haven't been stitching. It is because all the stitching I have been doing in the last few weeks has been for smalls exchanges and swaps and things of that nature. So I am about to film, but I might wait till tomorrow morning given how awful this looks, a video just showing you all of those things, but obviously I won't release it until they have arrived with the people they are being sent to. So I haven't got any stitching to show you. I also have been filming another little section which is going to appear in a Flosstube sometime soon, but I have to, it's with special guests. I mean, they are very, very special guests. So you will see that, but we've got to do a second follow-up little bit of that video before I can include that. So you will be getting that sometime in December, and hopefully you will enjoy watching that as much as we enjoyed filming it. So I can't show you that. So what am I going to show you? Well, I almost thought, shall I not do a video? I do want to do another colour video, but that's not going to be this one either. I have two things that I really want to show you. And the first is genuinely one of the most exciting things that's happened in forever. And that is, a couple of weeks ago, I was driving through town. I live in Stafford in the UK, driving through town. And I suddenly saw right in front of me a shop called Stafford Cross Stitch and Craft Shop. I know! I have an LNS. Who knew? It's only been open a couple of weeks. I went in today. Every time I was driving past, it was, you know, late in the evening or it was a Sunday and it wasn't open. And then I stopped finally and just thought, well, I just have to go and find out what the opening times actually are. And then I made a special effort to go into town this morning. And I met the owner, who's lovely. She's called Julie. She has been running craft shops For a long time, I think she used to have one in Walsall. And then she said more recently she has had one in Stafford. But she told me where it was, and I'm like, okay, I would never have found it there. And it doesn't, well, her current shop doesn't have a great online presence, and I assume her previous one didn't either. And so I just never knew it existed. So the new location is much better. For all kinds of reasons. If you're local and you're wondering how to get there, you park near TK Maxx. Park in the little TK Maxx car park, and then you go out of the car park where the old Laura Ashley used to be. It's now called Island Vets, and it's the vet, and then there's a florist, and then there's the craft shop. So that's what I did this morning. If you park near TK Maxx, you'll find it. And so she's run shops before, so there was a great depth, I thought, to her stock, because you know, when people are starting something really from new, and so all the products are new, by which I mean recently released. And she does have stuff that's new and contemporary and recently released. There's a lot of really fun kits. She's got lots from a company called the Crafty Kit Company. They've got sort of beginner level kits that you could do of Miffy or the Moomins or Peter Rabbit, that, you know, would be a really great sort of gift for, you know, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old wanted to stitch something. You could definitely do that. I mean, you know, adults stitch them as well, obviously. She had a lovely display hanging from the ceiling, lots and lots of quite big circular wooden hoops, and inside of those she had Nora Corbett and Mirabilia fairy charts. So, you know, they weren't stitched up, but they was like they were fairies inside these kind of circles hanging from the ceiling. It is mostly cross-stitched. There's a little bit of yarn. There's some other sorts of kits, paper folding and needle felting and one or two other things that I noticed. There's an enormous, if anyone's got a fantasy that they've thought they really want to do an enormous needlepoint of The Last Supper, I mean, she's got you covered. She said that was older stock. But there's, you know, because she's had stuff before, and also I think she said she'd bought stock from a shop that was closing down quite recently as well. So there's dimensions kits. I mentioned those Mirabilias. There's bothy threads. You know, there's stuff that, you know, there's a real depth to it. A lot of different styles, I think. It feels like a lot of kits. And it is. There's also DMC, obviously. But there are also other things I have never seen in person. So let me show you one of the things I bought. This is Threadworks. I don't know if you can read that. It's very shadowy, but it is Threadworks silk. And I bought it in this beautiful, beautiful 20 yards, hand over dyed floss. Oh, it's not silk. 100% cotton. I don't know if it gets named or if there's a number. It's number 1154. But look at the beautiful colours in that. So she's got a little bit of threadwork. She's got a little bit of dinky dyes. There are Karen water lilies. There was a little bit of Weeks Dye Works. I can't remember. It wouldn't be if you had like a kit that you were going and saying, right, I need to kit it all up in dinky dyes. I think you'd struggle. Or I need to kit it all up in Weeks Dye Works. I think you'd struggle. But she has got some, and I talked to her about her stock. I talked to her about Flosstube, and she's like, what's Flosstube? And I'm like, right, let me tell you, because she's like, I'd never heard of Threadworks. I think it was in the stock that she'd bought from the shop that's closing down. And I'm like, okay, well, I have, and let me tell you how I have, and how there is this huge market in the UK for these US threads like this and Weeks Dye Works and stuff. So I'm hopeful that she might continue to stock this sort of thing. In terms of fabrics, I don't think there was hand-dyed fabric. When I was looking from outside, when I went to look at the opening times, I thought there was some hand-dyed fabric, but actually I don't think it was. So she's got sort of DMC gridded, you know, lots of that sort of thing. But also, again, I think from the older stock, there's a sort of rail of fabric in all sorts of colours and counts. I don't know that there's much linen. It may be mainly Ada at this point. But again, I think if lots of people went in and said, oh, I really like to stitch on linen. Oh, I really like hand-dyed linen. Or if you are a fabric or floss dyer, go in and see if she'd be interested in stocking. Just saying. So, amongst all the exciting things, I'll show you the other thing I bought, and then I'll tell you the other super exciting thing. So I bought a Miffy needle minder. She has a great range of needle minders. There are Caterpillar cross stitch needle minders, Maloka Designs needle designers, these from Crafty Kit, one or two other companies as well, maybe. Yeah. So, you know, I could definitely see myself being a pretty regular customer there. Hazel, if you're watching, I think next time we meet up, we should meet in Stafford and have a cup of tea and go to the cross stitch shop there. So the other thing that she is now stocking, she is an exclusive stockist of Ros Clark Craft cross stitch Christmas cards. Hooray! So you may remember last year, if you've been around for a while, I sold one of my charts, one of my little Christmas charts, Joy to the World. I had printed up as a card. So the front of the card has one of the sort of model shots of it in a sort of wreath with holly, and then the ornament hanging in the middle, and it says Joy to the World. So it looks like a normal Christmas card with a picture of a cross stitch ornament on the front. Inside, you know, the side where you'd normally write says Merry Christmas, lots of room to write your card. But on the inside cover, there's the cross stitch chart so that you could stitch the design that's got the ornament on the front. And on the back page, there's a little floss key as well, so that you can do that, and then all my details and stuff. So they did sell last year pretty well. I made some money on them, and I had some left over, and I just thought I don't have the capacity to be doing physical orders this year. And you know, so they were just sort of sitting in a drawer, and I said, well, I'll just see. So I took them with me, and I said, look, I'm a local and I'm a cross stitch designer. Can I show you these and see if you would be interested in stocking them? And so she looked at them and she said, it's really nice, aren't they? It's a really nice idea. And I said, you know, people bought them last year, and you can either just send them as a card, or you could kit them up with a little bit of floss and a little bit of fabric and send them as a sort of card / gift to a cross stitch. It's like, oh, that's a really nice idea. I really like kitting things up. So anyway, she hasn't taken my whole stock, but she's taken 10. And she had some already little cellophane envelopes that were the right sort of size that they can go in. Because when I mailed them out, I just had thick cardboard mailers for putting them in the post to the people who are buying them. But so she's got little cellophane things, and she's got a stash of floss that is perfectly good, but it's been bobbinated, so it's not really saleable. So she's using that, I think, to kit them up, and then she'll chop up some Ada, and we talked about, you know, making sure what size Ada she'd need, and she's going to make them into little kits and see how they sell. And she's got all my contact details, and, you know, she bought them outright. I walked away from the shop. I'd like to say I walked away with cash, which I did, although the cash I got was slightly less than the cash I spent. So, you know, anyway, let's say these were free. And she's going to get in touch if they sell really well and she wants any more. So that was really exciting for me. If you wanted one of those cards, they are now available to the public. You will have to travel to Stafford in the UK to get one. She doesn't run an online shop. I am not running an online shop for physical products. So, you know, but if you're local and you want to come and check the shop out, she's open Tuesday to Saturday, 10 till 3:30. It's just her. Kids are in school, so she drops the kids off. She's there by 10, goes to pick the kids up by 3:45. She said Saturday she'll sometimes be there later, but those are the official opening hours. So if you want to check her out, let me know, because if you're coming locally and you want to check her out, maybe that we have time to meet up and say hello. What is really worrying for me, you know, so I live just outside town. That's fine. Her shop is within about 200 yards of my office space in town. Just good, but also maybe a bit dangerous, having an LNS right that close. So anyway, I'm hoping loads and loads of people will shop there. I'm hoping she'll really make a go of it. And I'd love her to start stocking more of the, you know, hand-dyed flossers and fabrics, and maybe individual charts. Like if you're like Yaz, if you're watching, why don't you get in touch with her and see if she might be interested in stocking your charts? Or you know, or Chloe or Ruthie or, you know, all of my sort of UK designer friends. Just see. She, you know, she probably won't take a huge order, but particularly not at the beginning. But I think it'd be great. I think she'd love to have, I may be just projecting. I would love her to have, you know, a section of the shop that is independent designers charts, you know, rather than kits. And then that sort of generates the market for, oh, well, now I need to kit these up. Have you got the things that I might need to kit these up? So anyway, I don't know. But it was really fun to visit. It was really fun to see, in particular, some kinds of thread that I'd never seen in person before, and to talk to her and become a business partner. How about me? I've never felt more like I was on The Apprentice than, I mean, like I've always watched The Apprentice when they do that task of, you know, go into shops and try and flog them some stock. I've always feel like shopkeepers don't do that, surely. That's not how they get their thing. But I'm like, well, I'm just going to give it a go. And, you know, she can just say no. And because I think the alternative was that stock is just sitting in a drawer in my house doing nothing, I'm like, I'm really happy to bargain with you. I'm not here to, you know, make enormous amounts of cash on this. Anything is a bonus. So, you know, let's see how it goes. And if it goes really well, you know, potentially I can imagine some other charts that I have and others that I could design that I haven't yet done that could equally become little cards. You know, there could be some birthday ones or some generic sort of ones or thank you ones or whatever, and you know, just have a little stock that she rotates in and out seasonally. I don't know. Anyway, I am obviously getting a bit ahead of myself. The other thing you may have noticed if you've been watching my videos recently, I am on day 13 of HRT, and I woke up today and I'm like fizzing. Like I have not felt like this for a long time. Like I just woke up and got up. Whereas for the last few months, I wake up and I've been like, oh, ah, and then like having to grab onto something to try and help myself lever myself upright and hope I could make it to the bathroom without falling over. And anyway, this morning I just got up. Amazing. And I can like remember things and I can do things, and it's very exciting. So it is December the 1st. It will be Advent on Sunday, but it is holiday countdown today. I think that's what I'm allowing myself to think. I am a bit of a liturgical year purist. We are not in Christmas until December the 25th. Up until then, from this Sunday, we will be in Advent. December the 3rd this year is the first Sunday in Advent. Advent is a different length every year because of the days of the week. It always begins on a Sunday, but Christmas Day changes the day of the week. So Advent is a movable length. Anyway, but it is the first day of the holiday countdown, and I'm going to show you because I suddenly have this huge collection. So back in February, I mean, you can tell I'm on the HT, I'm talking about 100 miles an hour. Back in February, I treated myself to the Roxy Flosco Evertote Modern Folk Embroidery Holiday Countdown. Basically because last year I had such FOMO. I was just like, that is so cool. I want to be doing that. Why haven't I got that? So this year, it's expensive. It's expensive shipping. I took the plunge. So I have got that. I have also got this, which is the Hotel Chocolat Advent Calendar, milk chocolate. And I bought this. I was in Hotel Chocolat, one of the many work trips I seem to have done in this autumn, in the station, and because it's got, I don't know if you, yeah, you can see it's all a bit bashed up around here, it was substantially reduced. So I'm like, right, I'll have that. I have also got, so that's what I thought I had. Then I have got, we are doing this with my church set of Advent readings. Yeah, which also have 25. I mean, that's most disappointing when even the church stuff doesn't quite work good. So I need to read the first one of those. Yesterday, I came back. I've been away for a couple of days. In my post box, there was what looked like a Christmas card. And I was being all grumpy. And who's sending Christmas cards? Not even December. It's not even Advent. Blah, blah, blah. And then I found it's an Advent calendar. I mean, fair play to send that in November. I have two bosses now. I have a real boss for my real job and a second boss for my secondment. And so this is for my second boss. So isn't that lovely? It's really lovely, proper Christmas, with little carols. Hark the Herald Angels Sing, O Little Town of Bethlehem, and While Shepherds Watched, and We Three Kings. So I've got that to open. And then this, which I hoped and slightly suspected, but wasn't sure. This is my handmade by a friend advent calendar. She did one for me last year and it was the best thing ever in the world, ever. And I'm so excited that she's done one for me again. So this is my lovely friend, Helen, who, it is a jigsaw. And so what she does the jigsaw and then divides it up into sections that I then make every day and put together for the final thing for Christmas. Now, last year I did them and kept them in their separate sections, but she said this year that's not going to quite work because they do all join together, but they're not sort of all blocks on their own. Like, so you might do a block one day and then the next day might be some that go here and some that go here, for instance. So what I'm going to do, I think, is get out my jigsaw board mat carrying casing and I will do it on that day by day, because I haven't got anywhere in my house that I could just leave a 1,000-piece jigsaw out for a month. The other thing about this, she's used Miffy on the tape and then she gave me the end of the washi tape roll. So that's so cute, and obviously beautifully decorated. So those are my advents. So let's start with the stitching, because that's probably the one you're most interested in. And then if you're not interested in anything else, you don't have to carry on watching. So the I got the whole kit. There was an option just to get the chart cards that came later, but I got the whole thing. So we get fabric, and I've got 36 count, and it's Turtle Dove is the name. I've just been watching, actually, Caroline's video. It is a one-of-a-kind linen, but she said it's very similar to a new linen that they're stocking called Speculus. So if you're interested and you like this, that is, I think, what you could look for in the shop. I'm going to put something behind it. That's quite washed out, I think. Yeah, there is no good way of doing colour in this lighting. But anyway, that's very beautiful, as you might expect. And then these are the bags that we get every day. And every day there is a bit of a pattern and there is some floss, but some days there are also other things. I think that's everything. So this year we have got, in day one, very pretty needle minder, and I wonder if, can you see how that's done in little things? I wonder if that's from the design on the chart. It looks like the sort of thing Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery might design, doesn't it? So I wonder about that. But it's wooden. It's the Holiday Countdown 2023 official needle minder. Accept no fakes. This is the official needle minder. Excellent. Now there's this, and I was wondering what on earth this was. I did open it earlier today. And then Caroline was showing it, and it's really clever. It's a little floss ring that you can sort of screw together. There you go. And so then you put your floss drops on there and you unscrew it every day and add in the next colour. So today's colour is called You'll Be Pine. I love a pun. So I do love Roxy Floss. I got some amazing Roxy Floss at Stitch in London. But I really love the names. So can you read that way around? You'll Be Pine. And so it is, as you would expect from the name, this beautiful pine green, really lovely pine green colour. And then there's a chart, so I'm not going to show you the charty bit, but there's also on the front of the chart, picture of boys falling over on their skates, and a link to Modern Folk Embroidery YouTube channel where there is a song you can listen to. And then there's the chart. And then there's also a little ornament. Again, a little wooden ornament. 2023. Anno 2023. I was wondering what the initials were. Yeah, it's so anno meaning year. Year 2023. And look, I love this. It's got all their logos. So Roxy Floss Co. Modern Folk Embroidery, Evertoad. Really pretty. And a thing just to hang up. So that's day 1 of the holiday countdown. Some stitching to do there. Not a huge amount of stitching. It looks like a really manageable amount of stitching for today. So that's good. I'm not going to read you from the book. What am I going to open? I'm going to open the card. I might have to take my glasses off. Number 1. These are really very tiny little doors on here. And number 1 is hiding. Any minute now, I'm just going to open a different door because I don't believe there is a number 1. Oh, how hard this is. There we go. It's Mary. It's just there. Mary on the donkey. Let's see what's behind her. Ooh. The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. Little candle. Lovely. So there's going to be a little Bible verse every day and everything. I mean, a bit of a Bible verse, but nonetheless, that's great. I really like that. Let's have a look at my chocolate advent calendar. Oh, number 1 is right top middle, easy to find, hopefully. And today it says let the countdown begin, and it is, I think it is Santa. It's sort of Santa in his braces. Hasn't quite got dressed yet. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. The light's so bad. I'm so sorry. I'll try and do this earlier in the day tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to do them. I'm not going to do them. I don't know why I'm saying I'll do this earlier in the day tomorrow. I'm not going to do Flossmas. I'm not doing these every day. But what I will do is when I am doing a YouTube video, I will include my Advent things. How about that? And so then I have no idea what this jigsaw is going to be like. So I'm not going to sit here and do it on camera, but we might at least get some idea of the style. My friend who did it did say she'd really enjoyed it and really enjoyed the picture. So we've got some pink and orange. Ooh. Last year's one was a sort of bookshelfy one. It was yeah, what was it? It was a sort of shop. That's right. And it had different bits, but there were quite a lot of books in it. Okay. I can't tell, but I'm seeing a lot of pink. So that's good. Right. Well, I've got things to be getting on with then. I've got chocolate to eat, stitching to do, jigsaws to make, book to read. That's all I've got. I think I'm going to try and be back next weekend. And next weekend, I'm going to try and have the next sort of colour video that I want to do, and the special guest appearances, and hopefully there'll be updates on all this and other stitching and more adventy things. There was something I was going to say. Oh yes, I would love it if you are thinking about doing the stitch along. But even if you're not, and you were just playing around with colours inspired by my colour wheel video, do you post a picture of your colour palettes or your colour wheels on Instagram and use the hashtag celebration of colour SAL, because I would love to see them. They're so fun. I just think there's nothing more beautiful than a colour wheel. And you will all have different ones, and that'll be amazing to see. So much shorter from me because I have no stitching. I'm sorry about that. If you only like seeing people stitching, here's some stitching. There you go. All right then. See you next time. Thanks so much for watching.